So, hello students, welcome to this revision session for grade 10 UT. Um, let's start off with the first problem. Okay, just because I'm discussing here doesn't mean that we're going to get the same questions. I might change the numbers and I might change the options as well. So I've told you how to answer MCQs. So please don't waste much time. You should ideally not be spending more than 10 minutes for the MCQs because I've told you the structure about 6 MCQs I've given, and only then you'll be able to complete the paper on time. And there wouldn't be any choice because this is limited portions. We have less than half the portions here for this reason. But more or less, I've kept the pattern aligned to the expected board pattern, that is section A, section B, and also the marking scheme in line with the specimen paper released. See, now I'm just discussing few types here. Okay, so you get an idea of uh, how to go about, and it will help you in the revision process. I know you all have been preparing very hard with our classes having started way back from from February itself. Yeah, and then when we came back in May, we continued, and it's just it's less than half the portions, you know. So that's why I'll not be able to give you more questions, and then I cannot give you choice. So everything is compulsory. All right. Starting off with the first question, the solution set for the inequation uh, 2x plus 4 less than 14, where x belongs to n is. So this is pretty straightforward. So 2x plus 4 less than 14, and it's an MCQ. Uh, the advantages I told you is that you can just do a guesswork if you don't know, which is the last resort. Please don't do that. You should learn the topic and you should go and attempt it in the final board paper as well. But if you are not able to do anything about it, if you're clueless, you can go with it. Yeah. Now we'll try to solve. The other option is ruling out, which I've already discussed. So you think these are the impossible options, so we will rule them out. And then it's easy to, when you filter out like this, it's easy to find the required solution even without solving. Yeah. Now let's say I'm going to start off with the solution, and I've told you you have to solve. When you're solving, no matter how you solve, how much of time you take in solving, you're either going to get 1 or 0. Yeah. So if you think that it mandates the working of a 4 or a 3 marker sum, then it's better to leave a few lines, leave some space, and just move on to the next section instead of getting stuck with this sum. But this is okay. This is quite straightforward from inequalities. 2x plus 4 is less than 14. So 2x is less than 14 minus 4, or 2x is less than 10. Dividing both sides by 2, I'm dividing by a positive number, which means I don't have to change the inequality. I get x is less than 2 ones are 2 5s are, x is less than 5. And what is the replacement set? See, this is the catch. X belongs to n. So if you're not reading the lines or reading the in between the lines, they say, right? If you're not having an eye for detail, you might tend to forget this. You might tend to overlook this. So don't do that. So remember, x belongs to n is your replacement set here, and that's why you will say x is less than 5, right? So x belongs to what? Now your solution set will be, you'll start from natural numbers, go all the way up to 4. You will not include 5. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose you had mentioned option D, it would be incorrect because your replacement set is set of natural numbers, not whole numbers. Okay. So you need to be careful about these things. Let's move on to the next type of question under inequalities. Okay. The next question is, let's say I have minus 3 plus x less than or equal to 7x by 2 plus 2. Okay. Minus 3 plus x less than or equal to 7x by 2 plus 2 less than 8 plus 2x. Okay. And this is very much for a 4 marker. And the replacement set is given x belongs to I. Sometimes they will mention z. I or z is acceptable for the set of integers. So minus 3 plus x less than or equal to 7x by 2 plus 2 less than 8 plus 2x need to solve. So how do we go about solving this? So I told you, you can start off with minus 3 plus x less than or equal to 7x by 2 plus 2. Okay, take the first part, that is all the way up till here. Then you forget the inequality, then take the second part from here, leaving the first inequality. Then it will be 7. Be very careful when it is strict inequality and where there is slack inequality. See, first you take all the way up till here. You forget what happens after the second inequality. And then you forget the first inequality and what comes before. Then you just take the other two things. All right. So 7x plus 2, 7x by 2 plus 2 less than 8 plus 2x. So now we can solve it in different ways. One of the best ways I can think of is, since you have 7x by 2, multiply both sides. Both sides you're going to multiply it with 2. When you're multiplying with the positive number, the inequality, the sign is unaffected. So minus 3 plus x into 2 less than or equal to 7x by 2 plus 2 into 2. I'm multiplying LHS on the right hand side, RHS and LHS by 2. So minus 6 plus 2x less than or equal to 7x by 2 into 2. So it becomes 7x plus 4. And now it's simply transposing. So you take the 4 over to the other side, plus 4 becomes negative 4. And the 2x, take it to the side, it becomes 7x minus 2x. So minus 10 is less than or equal to 5x. Divide both sides by 5. Minus 10 by 5 less than or equal to 5x by 5. So you get minus 2 less than or equal to x. So one part of the solution we got, we know that x is greater than or equal to negative 2. So now let's go and see what happens to the other side. Same thing, you have 7x by 2. So the best thing is to multiply both sides by 2. Okay. And you're multiplying with the positive number. So the inequality is unaffected. So you get 7x by 2 into 2 is 7x plus 4 less than 16 plus 4x. And you can take the 4x to the other side. It becomes 7x minus 4x is 3x. 16 minus 4 will be 12, or x is less than 4. Okay. We just cross-check if we think we have gone wrong. 7x plus 4, 8 to the 16 plus 4x. So 7 minus 4 is 3x. 3x is less than 16 minus 4 is 12. 3x is less than. So x is, we divide both sides by 3. 3x is less than 12. X is less than 3 fourths, right? So when you put them together, when you put the inequalities together, yeah, what do I get? X is greater than or equal to negative 2, but it is less than 4. It is less than 4. So, yeah. Now, I have shown it on the number line. Okay. Now here, x belongs to integers. Suppose it is set of real numbers. Suppose I mentioned, because it's not telling me to, see, the question is, solve the inequality and represent on the real number line. So one thing you need to be careful is, you can represent on the number line, but it is a set of integers. So you can start off with 0. It's always a good practice that you put 1, 2, 3, then 4. You show one more point here on the side, minus 1, minus 2, and minus 3. You're including minus 2. Then you have 1, minus 1, then you have 0, then 1, 2, 3. You will not include 4 because here it's a strict inequality. Less than 4, not less than or equal to. This will be the solution set. Be very careful because Your solution set has to uh, follow or the consequence of your replacement set. If it was real numbers, you would have shaded that in between lines in between, but it's your integers. More precisely, if I'm going to show it in the roster form, it would be this. X will belong to -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and 3. Do not include 4, it is less than 4. So this is about the inequalities. So let's go on to the next type of problem. We'll take one from coordinate geometry. I'll just take it here. All right. So how about a question like this? The lines kx minus y plus 4 is equal to 0 and 2y is equal to 6x plus 7 are perpendicular to each other. Find the values of k. What is the first line? Kx minus y plus 4 is equal to 0. Call it as line 1 or equation 1. And the second equation, second line equation is 2y is equal to 6x plus 7. Call it as equation. These two lines are perpendicular. See, what do I mean by perpendicular? When they are perpendicular, they are at 90 degrees. Now, however the lines are there, they're going to meet at 90 degrees. They're going to intersect across each other at 90 degrees angle. Now, whenever you have two such lines which are perpendicular, the product of their slopes is -1. I told you when you have two perpendicular lines, when you multiply the slopes, you get -1. Take the first equation. So kx minus y plus 4 is equal to 0. Or you can simply take y over to the other side. Kx plus 4 is equal to 0. Sorry, y. See, now, or what can I say? Y is equal to kx plus 4. So y is equal to mx plus c form, right? That form. So what is your m or m1 in this case? For line 1, we'll call the slope m as m1. m1 is k. Okay. We found the slope of line. Likewise, let's write the line 2 equation. 2y is equal to 6x plus 7. Because when you write it in the form y is equal to m into x plus c, by taking y one side, I told you that the coefficient of x, that is m that we denote here, that will be the slope. Similarly here, I want to just keep y. Let me divide both sides by 2. So 6x by 2 plus 7 by 2. So y will be 3x plus 7 by 2. So what's your m? That y is equal to mx plus c format. Here we can declare m2. So the m2 or the slope of line 2 will be 3. Now that I know m1 and m2, and I know that the two lines are perpendicular, let me simply multiply their slopes and equate it to -1. So k into 3 is equal to -1, or k is equal to -1 over 3. That's the first part. That's what they've asked, right? Find the value of k. So whenever two lines are perpendicular, the product of their slopes is -1. So first of all, you have to write the lines in the form y is equal to m into x plus c. The second part is find the equation of the line parallel to this and passing through -1, 1. So I want the equation for line. Let me call it as line L. Okay, line, its equation is what? And the condition that is given is it is parallel to 2y is equal to 6x plus 7. L is parallel to which line? 2y is equal to 6x plus 7. And this line L is passing through what line? What point? -1, 1. You can visualize this. So however it is the so-called line L. Okay, this line L, it's passing through what? -1, 1. And it is parallel to which line? To this line. One line is given to us, which is 2y is equal to 6x plus 7. Now, if I want to find the equation of any line, I told you, you need to know the slope, that's m, and you need to know a point. We do have a point now. We do have the point -1, 1 because the required line, I need to find this equation needs to be found out. It is informed that it is passing through a point -1, 1. Do I know its slope? I do know its slope in an indirect way. I know it's parallel to 2y is equal to 6x plus 7. So if I find the slope of this 2y is equal to 6x plus 7 line represented by that equation, I'm finding the equation, the slope of line L, because when the two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. So slope of L equal to slope of line 2y is equal to 6x plus 7. So what's the slope of this? 2y is 6x plus 7. Add it in the form y is equal to 6 by 2x plus 7 by 2, or y is 3x plus 7 by 2. Y is equal to mx plus c. What's the m here? The m, the slope of the parallel line is 3. And so is the slope of this line L also 3. Slope of L is also 3. Because they are parallel, their slopes would be equal. So what next? I mean, to say that once I know the slope of the line, which is 3, and I know a point on the line, which is x1, y1, that is here it corresponds to what's that? -1, 1. So I know the slope of the line and I know the point on the line. I can simply write it as y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So y minus, what is y1 here? 1 is equal to m times, m is 3, x minus x1. x1 is -1. Yeah, x1 y1 in that format, isn't it? So y minus 1 is 3 into x plus 1. y minus 1 is 3x plus 3. So you can write it as, you can bring everything inside, right? So y is equal to 3x plus that -1 comes over, it becomes +1. So 3 plus 1, 4. So y is 3x plus 4. Or you can write 0 is equal to 3x minus y plus 4, or 3x minus y plus 4. Different ways you can represent the line. They all correspond to the same line. That is the equation of the line. Okay. So there are two parts here. We have found the slope. So bear in mind, if two lines are perpendicular, the product of their slopes is -1. If two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. Okay. So we have covered so far. We can have one more question from coordinate geometry. See, this you need to know. About, I'd asked you to do some read up on this. That is triangles and special lines. Okay, I'll just take you through that. Okay, so we talk about special lines and the triangles. Oh, let me resize this. It's way too big. Okay. I'll just confirm that. Okay. We just take it from here. Yeah, this is better. All right. So the circumcenter of a triangle is the point which is yes. So now forget this question also. I'll just, if I'm going to just rewrite it as point, which is, for example, point which is, and I'm asking you to fill up all of this. What will this be? See, first of all, we should know the triangle and its special point, isn't it? So whenever I have a triangle ABC. From the vertex A, I will draw line to the midpoint of opposite side. Roughly, I will draw a line AD. Suppose BC were to be 10 centimeters, then BD will be 5 centimeters and the other DC will be the other 5. So D is the midpoint of BC. I'm joining A to D. What's AD called here? A median. And because we have 3 vertices and 3 sides, we'll be having 3 medians. And it so happens that all the 3 medians for any triangle, it can be right angled, isosceles, equilateral, obtuse angle, scalene triangle, anything, right angle, anything. So for any triangle, there will be 3 vertices and 3 sides and hence 3 medians. And all 3 medians will meet at a point. It's not like 2 of them meet and the third one is just cutting like this. No, they all will meet at a point, the point of concurrency or the meeting point. That is called as the centroid. And this centroid divides the median in the ratio 2:1. It's not needed right now in this context, but just know it. What about in center? Okay. Now, I have a triangle and again 3 sides, 3 vertices and 3 interior angles. So if I'm going to consider the interior angles, I'm going to bisect the angles. I'm going to take half. Let's say angle B is, for example, let's say angle B is 70. Then it will be 35 and 35. A bisector is going to do that, isn't it? It's going to bisect the angle into 2 equal parts, 2 halves. So angle B, angle C, angular bisector of B, angular bisector of C, and angular bisector of A. So angular bisectors of all of them will also meet at a point. That's called as the in-center. Okay, so using this, if I'm going to drop the perpendicular, using the in-center as the center, I'm able to draw a circle which will pass through all the 3. I'm not drawing it to scale, I don't have a rough sketch, but of course, I'm going to get a circle which will pass, which will not pass, I mean to say, which will touch all the 3 sides. Yeah, not cutting, it will touch the 3 sides exactly. That is this. How did I get this point? This point is the point where the 3 angular bisectors meet. That's called the in-center. Okay. So, and from the in-center, if I'm going to drop a perpendicular to any of the sides, and if I'm going to take that side as the radius and draw a circle with in-center as the center, I would get a circle which passes through all the, not passes through, I mean to say, which cuts through, which meets or which touches all the 3 sides of so it's a triangle, and that circle is called as incircle. Because if you go back to your question, you can see that this in-center is equidistant from all the 3 sides. It's equidistant from all the 3 sides of the triangle. Okay. Now, circumcenter. What is circumcenter then? Perpendicular bisectors. So again, the triangle has 3 sides and 3 vertices. So if you take the perpendicular bisectors of all the 3 sides, any 2 sides are enough because third side naturally it will pass through. If I'm going to consider the perpendicular bisectors, yeah, of 3 sides, and I'm find the meeting point, perpendicular bisectors, that point is called circumcenter. The point where the 3 perpendicular bisectors meet for a triangle. What's special about the circumcenter? The circumcenter, it is equidistant from all the 3 vertices. From all the 3 vertices. Okay, and the point where the altitudes meet. Now, from any vertex, so I'm just going to drop a perpendicular to the other side. I call it as an altitude. If A, B, C is a triangle, from A, I'm going to drop, let's say, AP perpendicular to BC. So AP becomes an altitude. Now, we'll have 3 altitudes, and the point where all the 3 altitudes meet is called as orthocenter. With obtuse angle, the orthocenter will be outside. The altitudes, 2 of the altitudes will be outside, meeting outside. Okay. So this is about this. So you should know the special points. You should know the special names for all of this. The point where the medians meet is called centroid. The point where the perpendicular bisectors meet, that is called as circumcenter. Where the with the angular bisectors meet, that is in center. Where the And of course, the altitude speed, that is odd percentile. So you should know the terminology. Okay, let's move on to the next type of problem. We pick up something from banking. The question here is, Newton has a recurring deposit account and deposits rupees 600 per month for 2 years. At the time of maturity, he gets rupees 15,600. Find the rate of interest earned by Newton. So we need to know what he deposits every month. That's called as the principal P, the sum per month, that is rupees 600. It's happening for how many years? 2 years. So I told you it will compute n as number of years into 12. So it gives you 24. You need the number of, the n should be in terms of months, 24 months. At the time of maturity, so Newton is depositing this amount every month, and this happens for about 24 months or 2 years. And finally, the amount is going to mature. After that, he's going to get how much? The maturity value is rupees 15,600. So find the rate of interest earned by Newton. Okay. So what is the final investment? What's the amount that you will invest over this period of 24 months? It will be 24 into 600 every month, right? The amount will be this, that is n into p, p into n or n into p will be this. So 24 into 6, we calculate, it is same as 12 into 12, 144, 144, 0, 0, 14,400 rupees. Yeah, this is the amount that Newton has invested over this 24 months period, because every month he's putting 600 rupees. So over this period of 24 months, he would have deposited so much amount. So finally, maturity value is this NP plus whatever interest he gets. He's getting some profit, right? NP is his investment. Anyway, he's just getting it back. So over and above that, he's getting this interest. We'll just substitute 15,600 is equal to 14,400 plus I, the interest, which I need to compute. Actually, I need to compute the rate of interest. First, let me find the interest. So I'll take this to the other side. 15,600 minus 14,400 is equal to I. So what will it be? 15 minus 14, 1. 600 minus 1,200 is the rate of the interest. Rupees is the interest. Now I want to know the rate of interest. So the formula, right? I is equal to P into n plus 1, yeah, into R by 24 into 100. All right. So 1,200 will be P, which is 600, into n is 24, n plus 1 will be 25. Rate of interest is what I need to find out here actually. And by 24 into 100. Let me just cross out. I'll change the color so you know where I've crossed out. Okay. 24 and 24 will cancel. 100 ones are 100, 6 are. So, okay, 25 to be 1,200 is equal to 6 into, don't multiply. That's one of the mistakes. The student actually multiply and then get big numbers. The other option is 1,200. With the 6 and 25 down, we'll be getting R this side. 6 ones are 6 twos are 200 are 200 by 25. 25 fours are 100. 25 eights are 200. So R is 8 or 8%. Yeah. So you'll have to solve this way when we ask you a problem. So be very careful. The maturity value, it amounts to, okay, when I say the rate at maturity, he gets so much. If I mention he gets so much as interest, then the I is given. Otherwise, remember, the maturity value means it's the total. It's the interest along with the deposit over that period of time. In this case, it is 24 months. Be very careful because students tend to take N in terms of years. They have done it, and some of you did in the last UT also. So please don't do that mistake. Be careful and cautious while solving. So keep the inputs as you work on it. Okay. Okay, Chitra. So I'll just stop for this now. I think we have covered some revision information which should be helpful to you. Okay. So all the best. Do well.